Hello and welcome to Hard Drive 32, a channel dedicated to the creation and playing of 32-bit games. I am your host, Alex Olkin. It is fantastic to have you here again on a Wednesday morning, which is an art morning. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, you'll find me on here working on my own project. And so today we're going to work on concept art for the lead character of what I'm calling kind of currently prototype Aspire. And thanks so much for being here. If you want to see me play 32-bit games, check me out Tuesday, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. All right. So let's go ahead and switch over to my drawing screen here. Get popped up and going. So now we're at the very early phase for the game itself. And so one of the things is when not on stream, I've been learning to do C# programming, which is going to be really helpful to me. I do have some background working in video games as an art director, but my technical knowledge is really, really small. So off stream, I've been practicing C#, and I have all the assets ready to work on a third-person shooter because this is going to be a survival horror game with our lead character here. But this is a early work in progress design for her. What I want to do is just knock out a prototype of the game, and then, if there's interest in it, I'll keep pursuing the project, or if I find myself enjoying it, I'll keep pursuing the project. But let's just have fun and learn here. So we've got the front and the back here. And the basic idea for her is I wanted her to be kind of like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Because the general concept of the game is you're trying to ascend this tower, and the tower has been infested by these insect humanoid hybrids, and she's going to try to make her way to the very top of it and survive. And so, similar to Bruce Willis in Die Hard, he is climbing up a skyscraper. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off the lines here, so that way we can really clearly see and get her height correct across all of them. Kind of like key points. Shoulders here. Ugh, I hate when Photoshop does that. Now, one day I might switch away from Photoshop because Photoshop is so garbage. But right now I'm just going to mark some of the important lines on our figure. We'll try to accomplish today is we'll knock out the side view and maybe just do a quick refinement pass on these other ones. Since it's just me working on it at this moment, the nice thing is a lot of these details, I kind of know where I'm going. If you were working with a team, you definitely want to put in a lot more details into your character sheet than this here. But since it's just me, I can do this, and that's a line here. Quite a few lines, but it's going to help us get the height and determine a lot of things within it. So, lines. And these are some of my inspo here. Okay. A little cleanup of my file before I start rocking it. So yeah, this I was going to tell you guys. So I stream on Twitch and YouTube. If ever you want to go back in time and look at previous videos, I'd recommend the YouTube channel of Hard Drive 32 because it has an archive. So Twitch has definitely the highest bitrate, the sharpest image. However, until you're a certain level of Twitch, the videos don't get archived. So I'm at that stage where you guys, if you want to go back in time, you're gonna have to visit YouTube as well for the older videos. All right, let's see here. Quickly do the line work here. And when I think about it, I should bring up, so who I am inspired by for her. There is a fitness model named Michelle Haley. And she's super duper buff because I wanted my main girl here to be pretty buff as well. find her. You'll get to see her up on the screen. Yeah, but Michelle, she is ripped as F. Super strong. Here. Also, here in a little bit, I'll switch out the music for something a little more in theme with the game. But now, keep my typical stream stuff going. You guys see what I've got here? So my inspiration images here, and there you go. That's a pretty good image. So it's Michelle Kaylee. Because I wanted the main character to be like, you know, just like monstrously strong. And I will say that she's kind of like this girl here, Michelle Kaylee. She's more along the lines of like a what people would call like a, I think it's called a bikini model. Well, she's ripped. She's not necessarily like a champion lifter ripped. I was wanting someone that was like, she practices MMA. If you're using Ty Harris illustration, maybe just Strawberries. Jane McClade. Yeah. Too true. Too true. Ms. Jane McClane. Good morning, Matsy. Whoever Matsy is in real life. Promise that I'm not using the stream just to put up pictures of pretty ladies on the internet. Okay. Yeah, but eventually throughout the story, she's gonna get kind of like John McClane loses his shoes and gets real beat up and torn up. Eventually I want this character to like, you know, have like almost like she set a bone, or she got bandages from some sort of injury. So she's gonna, her kind of like story is rooted in resilience and courage is kind of like the idea I'm going for with her. So she's gonna be like pushing through a lot of hurt to make it to the top of the tower. All right, the basic figure here. A funny thing about a human is like, we're kind of like this collection of curves like this. We kind of go back and forth, back and forth. That's what I'm drawing now. You get in the shoulders. Alexandra. Is that your stage name? That could be my stage name, Alexandra. Man, also, speaking of Zedra and or Zed, Zed has a Valorant skin that for the video game Valorant that is so cool, but it's $100, and it's got an equalizer, and it plays a custom song he made, and it's pretty sick. But it's $100 for a virtual gun, and I'm real half tempted to buy it. I'm sure my wife would love that. Just be like, honey, what's this charge from Riot Games? What is this? What is this? And I'll just be like, Carrie, I wanted the clout whenever I play Valorant. I wanted people to notice me, and so I had to get Zed's gun. Yeah. By the way, this is like the least amount of reference that I've used for a character. I'm pretty surprised. See, not being creepy, but looking for a stronger form model, look up Alex Zebra. Oh, Zebra! Oh, shoot! She was a character model. Oh, sorry. I read the last line, but not the first one. Let me look up this Alex Zebra. Yeah. Just keep naming bikini models. I could spend an hour looking at that. Oh, yeah. I think Mr. Matt here has referenced her before. Yeah. These Google results are just terrible. She's hideous. 0 out of 10. Yeah, she's pretty beastly. Yeah, I could pop her in. Let me find a side view. Really? Listen, I have to use a bikini reference shot because I had to see her musculature. So legitimately, it's she's pretty built. She's pretty built. I'm gonna make an entire stream dedicated to judging whether a lady is built or not. I almost went full brick shit house with the character. And I was almost half tempted to make her just a monster. Also, just kind of like, you know, ladies who are champion, you know, like bodybuilders and stuff like that, don't get a lot of representation in media, and it's kind of like because they aren't what would be the typical aesthetically pleasing form, at least by current societal norms. And I've always been kind of half tempted to make a character like that too, that is just like Miss, I don't know what it's called, like with Miss Olympia, if it's Miss Olympia or whatever it might be called. But I was half tempted to make this lead character just a monster, absolute monster. But I'm gonna hold off for now. Good enough. Let me check how our shoulders are doing. Like right there. Okay. What's funny, she's not as like, oh my gosh, look at this waist. That's a normal human waist proportion. That big. Look at this here, crazy. Let's see here. Definitely gonna bring her waist back a little bit. I remember, what was it? My wife and I were watching, we were watching Guardians of the Galaxy, and my wife almost couldn't believe how thin the actress who plays Gamora is. She's like, that's not real. She can't be that thin. But it's just that she's that thin. But I mean, I really like, I don't know if you guys, well, actually I know Matt here has seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there's a great interview with the character in that show called Mac, and one of the running jokes is initially in the series he's got to this phase where he's Fat Mac, and he eventually gets utterly ripped and toned, and the actor was interviewed like, hey, what'd you do to get that ripped? Like, what was the process? What would you tell others? And he just describes it as like the most miserable experience. He's like, oh, I'll tell you how to get ripped. You don't eat anything. You be an actor with an incredible amount of time and money, and you just work out constantly and hate yourself. Like, I love that he was just completely honest that to get to the level of fitness that, say, an actor gets for like a Marvel film is just more than any one of us could typically do. At least that I could do. I just appreciated the actor who played Mac, his honesty of just being like, listen, you want to get that ripped? You've got to sacrifice a lot, especially if you have just like wife, kids, or anything else. So, and that was the thing, man. Whenever I was growing up, I had such a problem with jocks and all that. But I feel so stupid now because, like, having now worked out quite a bit and all that, it's like those high school jocks sacrificed a lot to get in shape. And just athletes in general. And I have such appreciation for them now. Just like, oh my gosh, you guys. To get to that level of fitness is just insane. Props to you guys. Incredible. So anytime, like, I don't, like, people have a problem with, like, the physically built women to where they're just, like, just ripped muscles. And I'm just like, dang, like, lady, you sacrificed a lot to get to that shape. That's amazing. If I could have that, even close to that level of dedication, I would be ripped myself. The boobs are now on there. We've got boobs, we got booty. He is a lady. I had my color scheme beneath. That looks pretty good. We're working with pretty good here. We're trying to get through this as quick as we can. There's so much more to tackle after this because we got to do the 3D portion too. Now for the lines, for the clothes, I'm going to use different color for the clothes just so that I have an easier time seeing it. And we'll do the arms on a separate thing, so we're just doing the jacket at the moment. No, the exterior clothes excluding the arms, I should say. So, go down here. Wraps up through. It's really interesting when you start seeing the outfit just separate from everything else. How it all fits together. This have collar go up and around here. Alright, if you guys have, let me zoom in a bit, make it easier for you guys to see these things. And one thing I need to start doing, I'm going to start using thicker lines. There's a really cool artist on Instagram, and what I noticed is they do very thick lines, and then afterwards they do the refined lines, and I think that's just to help get better shapes out of everything. We'll do that too, because I'm going to have to go through anyways and do a pass with a refined line, so might as well really push these kind of like shapes and forms while we're going here. Make things stand out a bit more. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not going to worry about these little ribbed things that are going on here on her pants on the side view because it's just so difficult. That's something I'll tackle whenever I'm actually doing the modeling portion here. Shoe height. Part of me has gotten to a point in stage when it comes to drawing is just be like, get her done. Just getting it done is the most important thing. Thick boots. Here. Got these side things here. Hope everyone's got a grand morning so far and that everything's going perfect for you. Largely perfect. That more or less goes like that. One moment. Fun thing. Oh. A grandma sending lots of cute photos of kiddos. Get that later. Back to our lines here. Do black. Get her hair in here. Side. Around. Got a very, I don't know why I gave her kind of like this old actress look almost. That. About there. Perfect. Looks so funny. Got the refined stage here. This is like a perspective I need to, or not perspective, but a view. I always need to practice way more. There. There. Good folks. Back to the blue here. Question is where to have that into. Arm. I almost want to see if I could just do this character without the side view. Purple. Just for the basics, I should say. Excited. I almost want to get started today. Let's get started today, guys. We're going to call it good with this. I think since it's only me doing this, and since it's just a prototype, see how much I can get away with. Pinky promise not being lazy. I'm just so excited. I just want to keep going. Back, front. Alright, so Hanuman is in there. So we'll just jump ahead to 3D modeling. And I'm sad I missed out on Monday stream. What had happened was there's a car accident that kind of disrupted traffic on the way home after dropping off kiddo. I did not have the chance to stream on Monday like I'd hoped to. Too bad, but I'm here now. Stream now. Yeah, curious to see how much materials change things. Everything else. Just need the basics for side view here to pull off a 3D model. Right? Right. All right. Boom. It's been a tiny bit since I've done this, so yeah, this goes. I think you can even use PSDs as the file. So let me see where I've saved this here. I saved this in a location that is nothing to do with Spire. Let's save this in the proper folder. Spire, concepting, work progress, Val. 8. Awesome. Okay. Now we're gonna pop open Blender, boys and girls. Let's see what we do here. I'm rocking the alpha at the moment for it. I need to go download the latest version. While that's loading up, let's take this opportunity to switch into some heavy hardcore music. Always searching for DMCA free. Yay, free music. We got here. What do we got? What's that? There we go. Yeah, let's try it. Cool. All right, for those new, this is, let's see here. I'll put my camera there. A little bit easier for you guys. This is the Blender interface. Here is a cube. We'll actually use this, or leave this cube in here because it's going to be useful to us. And what we're going to do is we're going to Shift A and create a plane. We're going to rotate it on the X by 90 degrees. X is the red line here. And then scale it up here to 5. So clicking S and then 5. The reason I did 5 is it's by meters. So the average person is about 5 meters tall. And actually, I probably want to scale that up a little bit more. Because I wonder, I think she's going to be pretty tall for a lady. So I'll get a relative height for her here in a second and make a cube the same height as her. I think they said in their latest update they updated the content browser. I really hope so. Definitely before the next stream, I'm going to update the latest Blender so that way I don't have to use this kind of antiquated file browser. Folder. Modeling. Is Val 1. All right, and let's Google real quick because I'm not great at math. Meters, feet to meters. I think she would be. It'd be cool if she was 6 foot at least. 8 to 8 meters. Is that true? Person in meters. Maybe I had that wrong. Earlier I said 5. About 2 meters. If okay, so 1.82. What I'll do is I will this cube here, I'll scale up by 1.8. Go. That feels so wrong? Does that feel wrong to you guys? Make sure I get this right. You always want to, so what's interesting about 3D modeling programs or Unity or any kind of thing is they have their own units, and you need to make sure you're working within the right units. Under default units. It uses, oh, 1 second here. Uses arbitrary Blender units. Let's set the units. Oh, good. I can change it. Awesome, guys. There you go. The properties panel. Click scene properties. Cool. That's right. Okay. This was off. Great. I've always been wanting to set this up right. I'm going to go to properties panel. It's metric. Unit scale 1. Oh. So it is accurate what I've been working with. Okay. So that's accurate. 1.8. It's right there. Cool. Let's go with that. Make a new plane in that case. We'll make it 2.5. I have it snapped to mint. Yeah, good enough. Good enough to start working. All right, and then we're going to map onto here a material that we're going to name a front, or just yeah, we'll do front. I'm going to jump to the shader here where we can, where we can add things like, say, an image here. And what we're going to add to it is Shift A, inputs. You can also kind of type these things in. Like after you press Shift A, you can search texture coordinate. Not that. There we go, texture. Image texture. Voila. And this will let us get the Val image we had earlier. Up from here. Model, or not modeling, concepting, work in progress. Val. Let it load for a second, and we can use the PSD as our character here. As we wait, check the Instagram. Oh, or it could just crash. Good job, computer. Reminder to save often when working on stuff. I tell ya. Val. There it goes. Okay, Val 8. Then we connect it to the base color here. And there it goes. Okay. The one downside here is it stretched. Not what I wanted. There's another way to do this that might not cause any issues. This is one method of doing it. Oh, here you go. Image. Let me update this file real quick. Because the nice thing is, this is a Photoshop file, you can literally just resave it. So I'll make this the image a square, which I should have remembered to do anyways. That's one thing with textures, is everything is in squares typically. And if something isn't a square, you get issues like that where it stretches to be a square. And oftentimes, there are ways of doing what's known as texture packing. And what it does is it takes all your images that you're using within a game, and it will make everything that is, every image that is in the square, and fit them together like a jigsaw piece. Make sure that they are a square when it's all said and done. 1:1 ratio. Yeah, we'll do this and resave our image here. Don't want too much excess here. Go. Save. And you'll see it update in Blender. Should be correct aspect ratio after that. Here, I'll disconnect. Make sure it gets re-rendered. Oh, come on, thing. Work in progress file. There you go. Okay. I've got this here. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to scale this to be about the size of the cube, because I did want her to be 1.8 meters tall, which is nearly 6 feet. Get back to the modeling thing here. Flat. One thing. Okay. Nice flat shaded. It's been a while since I've been in here in Blender. Gotta get back into it. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's center her. I want to turn up the visibility of the cube. Make sure she's about in the center. Boom. And then what we can do here is, one, we need to turn off backface culling. That's so that way I don't see it at different angles, which, as you can see here, I already don't. All I'll do is I'll copy paste. I'll rename this first one to being front view. Just did that by double clicking it in the view. And this other one, we're gonna rotate it on the Z 90 degrees. Okay. It's gonna be one of our side views. Pushing it till I get the right side view. Not quite. Move her in the X here. Then we also need to mirror it. So mirror it, we can flip it in the Z, or flip it in the E. Or I could scale it, sorry, I could scale it negatively. S, Y, -1. There we go. Scale it in the Y, -1. And then we move it to be need in up view. About right here. Gonna get her back. This isn't exactly perfect, and that's fine. There's the front. Go ahead and take a moment and we'll do the back view too. Be another New copy. The back and front view are going to be the most important for me personally. Also, I would love to know if there was a way to make this not... Oh, good. I can turn off sort alphabetically. Thank you. I'm not a fan of that. Just checking out some settings before we keep going there. Okay, so front and side. We're going to duplicate front. The back view will move to be about the same location. We'll move it in the Y. That way it's not sitting on top of the other one. That one, so this would be the back view here. About the center too. Nice thing is these don't have to be anywhere near the character model too, so gosh, I feel like there's another way of doing this too, if I remember right. There is a way, by the way, to actually model onto the planes, like cast onto planes. Let's worry about it later though. All right, so we've got a cube. Be the beginning of our model. Turn off the back view for now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do what's known as quad modeling. So quad modeling is where you quad modeling is when you draw with a plane. That's what we're going to do here. This is our plane that we've made. Take this here. And we should, and we ought to start mirroring here. So mirror in the X, Y, or Z. That's via adding modifier here. Mirror. This is a good way to see if my front view is actually in a good location too. Looks like I need to move it just a hair. So, go back to our cube. Rename cube bow. Save. Going there. I'll get smoother at this, Jim. Been a long while. Now, the one thing that was interesting was I saw someone that did a method of modeling which I haven't seen before. I'm gonna try it too. What they ended up doing is they just started with a vertice. So oh, and let's make sure, by the way, that our model is auto merging when things are close. Like that. Okay. So let's add all of the points we want to use for the character here. And this is the areas in which I think the model will change. I can always go down from this too. If in case while I'm working, I'm like, that doesn't feel like something a 32-bit gen game would do. Right now, I'm packing the most amount of detail into her face. So what I do at this point is I've got the front. I'm feeling pretty good about that face so far. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend outwards so I reach the edges. Start the nose. That's going to be the simplest, I believe. So I want to make sure that all of these merge. I always get so nervous at this stage. This is when things get really destructive. The goal of the geometry to kind of like cover most of these, the facial expressions too, but then the geometry itself if I can. Oh, so that auto merge is working. Thank you earlier. Don't have it pop up like that. Cute little nose. Cool. And after I do some of the basics here, I'm going to go back through and problem with that geometry there. Part of this, you have to think about the left and right view, kind of how things recede backwards too. Good practice for me. Subdividing. Do is the side view. Move the geometry. Need it. got my keyboard so far back, it's like making it difficult. Good to constantly be trying to reset this. You're kind of just like pulling the form out of it here.
Stuck in this odyssey, watching time ticking back at me. We've got lost in this galaxy, on a cloud where our hearts are free. Stuck in this odyssey, watching time ticking back at me.
I can definitely see me coming back through and revisiting things too as I go along. Trying to keep the geometry about where I had it. Yeah, so I'm gonna need a subdivide so that way I can cut here with a knife actually. So I can go back, get under the nose. Speaking of, certainly is a look. Ah, getting there. Yeah, that's something I gotta work on, improving on. This is great though. I love practicing this stuff because I gotta get better. That's what I was talking about. Like, as much as I can work in the concept art, I also need to improve a lot in this regard. And some of these gaps are just so intense. Back and forth. Still things are not so stretched and tight.
Watching time ticking back at me.
Plus, there's also the thing of the, like, I can just come back around and like calm all of this down, which I think I'm gonna have to do. Plus, I'm not necessarily animating her lips too. That determines a lot as far as like what I'm trying to pull off here. Kind of the fact that I have all this geometry packed into here. Great. Let's work fast though. See what we got here. My own chat popping up over and over again. Like, what? Got such a wide face from the looks of it. Move this all back in the Y. What a face. I think that terrifying so far. Part of it's just like there's so much tension in portions of it. I put so many details on her lips. This shape right here is pretty confused, by the way. Back here a little bit. Now relax in the face structure here a bit. What I meant to do. Unfortunate. Okay though. Not too bad. Can always reduce and simplify afterwards, which I'm definitely gonna have to. Out here. Yeah, doing all right. So vanished looking. It's like a creepy death mask at the moment. Oh gosh. Yeah, we're gonna reduce some of this geometry for sure, and then sweeten up her expression a little bit, make it a little less harsh. It is a 32-bit game too, so she shouldn't be looking like, you know, some kind of hobgoblin, what she's looking like at the moment. I made a great hobgoblin. Right. I think we're just gonna pause it here for today. That face is looking pretty scary, y'all. But when we come back on Friday, we'll keep working on a 3D model. I can see her 3D model lasting through next week as well. But then at that point, we'll be able to animate her and actually start working on the prototype game because I've got all the assets for it. So that'll be really freaking cool. So Friday at 8:30 a.m. CST, I'll be here again. We're gonna 3D model. Tomorrow night, I'll likely be finishing up Hell Night on PS1. And what other fun things? Oh, sometime later this month, I'm going to do a drunk run of Parasite Eve. I will make sure to schedule it. There we go. I will be sure to schedule it. So the first time I ever drank was with Parasite Eve, the original game. I had some orange screwdrivers and I beat the game. Barely remember any of it because of how drunk I got. So we'll do a drunk run of Parasite Eve to celebrate that. I did that originally in November, so that's gonna be in November. And then we'll play some horror games, you know, leading out through October. So thanks for being here again. Work on more stuff on basically every weekday. And I'll catch up with you later. Ciao.